All right, this is all long overdue. It's been about a week since I wrote some of the stuff down, but yeah, I think the last time I recorded anything was Valentine's Day, and I've just been slacking. I have to get my dog put down tomorrow morning, which I won't go into that here, but that's just something that's been on my mind a little bit, and it's pretty late at night, so I just want to be able to do these next two little parts all in one go, hopefully one video, and get that out. Um, Anyways, yeah, a week ago, I don't know how much I talked about it in my other commentary, but I had like a bit of a pep talk on my Friday drive, and it like completely improved my mood again. I hadn't slept at all that night, which was the second time in a row doing it. I don't think that's going to happen again tonight. I'm skipping my class tomorrow. I decided I put on the lecture and it was really easy shit, but I I went down, did some snowmobiling across the ice to the island, did a bunch of errands. So I got to see my little bro and play ping pong and stuff with him, which was really fun. That was a good mental health reset. My little brother's awesome. He's been raised really well by his mom, and it inspires me as a parent. You know, I was thinking about that while I was down there, just about how much I want to parent like she does. And I've worked with kids before, you know, at the elementary school up by where I used to live. I worked there for like 3 years. You know, I mentioned that before. So I know I'll be like a really good father and a good dad. You know, and those are definitely two different things. But came back, crushed the gym, felt fantastic, felt like I looked the best I ever have. You know, which I technically do. You know, I just rarely see it. You know, it's like body dysmorphia and all that. You know, everyone who works out has that. Nobody, you don't know what you look like. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned you can't fathom what you look like. I still see like, you know, fat high school me, and it's definitely just it's a little discouraging. And everyone sees the old them though. You know, you just can't fathom what you look like. Like I said, you literally cannot understand what you look like. I could not tell somebody what I look like. I cannot uh, comprehend what I look like when I look in a mirror. You know, couldn't describe it to anybody else. Couldn't even understand it myself. But yeah, I think I'll definitely try to pep talk myself. You know, maybe once a week if I need, just whenever I'm feeling down, because that was really good for me. That was just something I realized. You know, pep talk did me really well. And you know, just you know, if I need to, I'll do it every day. Like when I look up, when I get up and look in the mirror. You know, um, and you know, if you don't have anyone around you to gas you up, that matters. You know, you got to gas yourself up, assuming you're in the mental state to like matter to yourself like that. Because I know some people, the reason they're not doing so well is because they don't matter to yourself. Which fortunately, that wasn't the issue for me. I was just having, you know, a hard time for other reasons. Been having a hard time for other reasons. But it personally helps if I like don't actually look in the mirror, you know, and I just talk to myself like as a person, emotionally and mentally, you know, not physically, because I know like what I do physically with my body, like in the gym, it all stems from my mind, anyways. Um, and there's no point trying to like convince myself anything about me physically because like I said, no part of me understands what I look like. But yeah, that was low key the best idea I've ever had. You know, I just talked to myself like a fucking crazy person in the car for the better part of a half hour, and then sang while you know the whole way, the whole drive. I sang, running on like almost no sleep, pretty much no sleep. You know, I hadn't slept in about 24 hours, so it was something like that. And yeah, I've been watching Euphoria, which is pretty entertaining. But watching all these characters makes me realize I could be like much worse off mentally, you know. So that was what I was, you know, doing about a week ago, and then finishing off the weekend. This was probably around Valentine's Day. Like I said, I didn't have that many thoughts about all that stuff. I just realized after seeing my family, you know, I realized that I'm not always wrong. And then some of the time when I was growing up, I was right. Like my feelings were valid, you know, and I was gaslit essentially into thinking that I was at fault. You know, it was a problem, you know, because I lived with all girls, and I used to think it was like my fault. Me and my sister didn't get along, and you know, it was just, you know, her and my mom were so close. I'd get grilled by my aunt for it. Actually, I got grilled for it at Christmas Eve, and I kind of laughed because I realized, you know, I was like, yeah, I'm not actually the one that was at fault in really any of that. Like, how could I have known? You know, I was too young to understand. Like I said, my aunt mentioned it at Christmas. I just, it clicked for me. Like I sort of broke, but I didn't like react or say anything. I just, it clicked that they were wrong for me. Like it clicked for me, and it was a little infuriating. Because it was just, but it was a harmless joke, and I just realized, that she didn't understand it, and nobody else understood it, and I couldn't have understood it when I was little. But it wasn't my fault. And I also, I think this was probably it was definitely that Sunday I went up and I boxed, and that girl that I have a crush on was there, and I couldn't say anything. I've just, it feels so fucked up. I wanted to be sad and cry, but like I couldn't. I didn't have it in me. It wasn't. It felt like a big deal, but just I knew deep down, I didn't know, but deep down it just wasn't, and now, a few days later, it doesn't matter to me. I want to talk to her technically, so I keep my PC and PS5, but realistically, nobody gives a fuck if I do that or not. It's not like I don't want to excuse myself and say it wasn't a lie, but like if I don't do it, but it was just like, just a harmless bet is the way I look at it, and I mean, it's infuriating slightly that I couldn't do it. It's because like I'm so close to being the person that I want to be, but my emotions change so quickly and my feelings change so quickly. Like I already feel way different than I did 5 days ago, 4 days ago. But like, fuck, man. And then of course the girl isn't there this entire goddamn week. I saw her for like a brief second today, end of the week. And all she was doing was like, she must have forgotten something because she's in for like 2 seconds. And I was in the other room deadlifting, and it was just like, yeah, didn't fucking work. But I've been talking to the other guys in the gym, specifically one guy who's super cool that I have in one of my classes, and he's awesome. And maybe I'll, pick his brain on what he thinks about the whole thing, because, I don't want to spend any more of my life like regretting and wishing that I did something different. But I don't know if I regret this. Like I said, my feelings just change so quickly. This, this is definitely one of my more rambly commentaries and more random ones, because my feelings are just completely different than when I actually wrote this stuff down, and writing it down almost changed the way I felt instantly. It's just like I'm reading what I wrote, and I'm not as miserable as it sounds like I was a few days ago. Like I just don't care. Like this girl, it's just another girl, another person to go talk to. Like I don't know. Actually, you know what it is? I am 100% experiencing post-nut clarity right now. That's 100% what it is. You guys, whoever's listening, if anyone ever listens to this, you are listening to my post-nut clarity experience right now. Because what I just said and what I'm like thinking, that is just 100% like post-nut clarity. Yeah. Like she's just another girl. There's other girls I I'm talking to this other girl in my class. Like I'm just talking to other people, and it's just like I'm talking to them all like they're the exact same, and none of them are important to me because they're not, and I'm just gonna move out of here in a year anyways. But I was talking to my roommate earlier that that is how I feel, but maybe that won't actually happen. Maybe I will find a girl that keeps me here for a little while. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not going to listen to the part of my brain that doubts me and tells me I'm like crazy and not good enough and not interesting enough. No, that's all bullshit. And I was doing that on the weekend, even after hyping myself up in the car. But now I'm just chilling. I'm gonna go. Maybe I'll see that girl tomorrow. I'll definitely see the guy from the gym, my friend from the gym. It doesn't matter who I see tomorrow. I know I'm gonna hang out with a couple of my friends in real life. That sounds weird. Of course, you're going to hang out with a couple of your friends and it's going to be in real life, but I sometimes refer to that when I'm talking about Discord. I refer to them as friends, hanging out with friends. But anyways, I'm going to have people to talk to. I'm going to have stuff to do this weekend. I'm going to have a good leg day tomorrow, good push day on Saturday. I'm going to switch to dumbbells, like almost exclusively instead of flat bench, I think. And I just, maybe I'll do a little bit of flat bench to pause just to try it. I don't know. I got to switch something up because I'm cutting, losing weight, and it sucks losing strength, but it's bound to happen. And I'm doing really well. But, you know, I was thinking too, like, you know, like I mentioned a little bit when I was talking about growing up with all girls, like being isolated like that and stuff, like it sucked, you know, not having, you know, my parents there for me, like in that way, and not having like a positive male influence or role model in my life. Like it sucked, but I wouldn't say that it was like, that it fucked me up, you know, like everything that happens to you, you know, that sucks, like usually makes you into a better person. I know that's how I feel. Like all the adversity is an advantage, you know, it's not a disadvantage. Like everything that sucked that happened to me when I was a kid has shaped me into a better person, like exactly who I am today. Like if I hadn't experienced nearly as much as I have experienced, I wouldn't be as good a person, in my opinion. Like I'm happy with who I am, and I think I'm a really like, I think I'm a little wiser than some people my age, and maybe other people my age are wiser than I am. But I think I'm really wise for my age, and I think I've had a lot of good experiences that I can reflect on. I think I'm I'm good at being myself, and I'm good at taking care of myself. You know, because of, you know, the way I grew up, because of everything that happened. That was the kind of adversity I faced, and it makes me better off than some people that I see that are like, you know, still, you know, there's nothing wrong with living with your parents in college, like at all. I actually was talking about it with a couple people. Like I promote, you can live into, even in your mid-20s. I don't see anything wrong with that. Late 20s is getting a bit excessive, but like there's nothing wrong with living with your parents and saving money. And yeah, saving money essentially is the only reason I could see anybody doing it, unless you really love your parents. That's great. But I totally just blanked out on where I was going with that, if I'm being honest. People who I see that live with their parents, sometimes they're a little too reliant on their parents. You know, since I've been in college, I've noticed there's a big discrepancy between incoming freshmen and like third years, for example, just between like their level of independence and dependency. I guess those go hand in hand. Like you can use either one, dependence or too dependent, or independent. They're not independent enough, you know what I mean? But it's because like these people just don't have those experiences, and they grow up with like, as dumb as it sounds, you grow up in a happy fucking family with like two parents and, you know, good house, nice siblings, nice friends, good area. Like you don't experience that adversity, and it doesn't develop you. And then when you first go to college, that's your first experience ever, like having to be independent like that. And for some people, it's crazy seeing how immature they are, and like unaware, like not even like lacking self-awareness, but just lacking awareness about the world, like expecting that they're owed anything by anyone, you know, when in my opinion you're not really owed anything by anyone in the world. Like nobody owes you jack shit. And some people appear to think that they are owed something for some reason, and I think it's just because they grow up being used to that, and it's not even their fault. It's just, you know, that's how parenting works. Sometimes you get carried away and you overparent and helicopter, and sometimes it blows up in your face. I've witnessed that firsthand a couple of occasions, and personally it happened to me. But sometimes you just overparent and they don't ever grow, you know, gain any independency, and that can be kind of tough when you're, you know, moving away and going to college for the first time. It's just that's when you really see it. You know, I guess you could see it with people that, you know, they graduate high school and go get a job, but those people are usually pretty driven. In my experience, I went to high school with a lot of people who graduated and they just went straight into construction or something across the state. Like they've been traveling for, you know, 20 times longer than I've ever traveled, you know, and they're just, they know what they want to do and they're driven. But other, you know, it's very common for people to get out of high school and then go immediately into college, and that's their first time moving. So that's why I used that example. But yeah, those are kind of the only thoughts I have. I've just been trying to take it easy this week. Nothing really remarkable happened. I haven't had any crazy revelations about anything. Like I said, I just wanted to. I knew I wanted to record this night before I got my dog put down, and maybe I'll record one tomorrow afterwards. But it just felt like right to do it and talk about it and kind of put it in, not writing, but speaking. Just because I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I should be. I don't feel anything about it, and I don't know why that is, but I kind of feel like I should hold myself accountable and figure that shit out. But that's a little too depressing to end on. I'm gonna have an okay weekend. It's gonna be fine. I have one more week of classes, and I added my partner on Snapchat so we can talk about our articles and stuff and figure that out. And I just got like an exam to do, and then another 2 exams next week, and then it's spring break, and I can do whatever I want for spring break, and maybe I'll have some revelations. I wish, you know what I'm thinking? I wish that PlayStation 5 games weren't so goddamn expensive. I want to buy Gran Turismo, Elden Ring, Returnal, Horizon Zero Dawn. One of those I didn't even think of earlier today. I was thinking it was going to be $210 plus tax for 3 of those games, and now I'm thinking it's going to be probably over $300 including tax to buy 4 of those games. That's almost what I spent on the console. It's $100 shy of what I spent on the console. I want to play this new Horizon, fucking Forbidden West. Yeah, I was gonna say Frozen Wilds. It's a DLC. I want to play Forbidden West. I want to play the new Gran Turismo. Elden Ring I can get on PC for $60. I'll save $10. Great. Returnal looks fucking astounding. I never really understood what that game was about, but yeah, I wish they made PlayStation 5 games cheaper, because goddamn, I'm trying to like work a little bit and like schedule myself to work most of the weekends and in between classes when I can, but it's just I don't have that much time, and I like going to the gym, and the gym has to be important to me. It has to be my number one priority. But anyways, I can't spend money on tattoos and video games. I can hardly spend tattoos on any of that stuff other than food. I have enough money to do what I want, but I just I know I shouldn't spend as much as I want, but that prevents me from spending at all. And yeah, anyways, maybe I'll buy one video game and get one tattoo. That'll be my compromise. Keep it under $200, hopefully. I don't really know how expensive tattoos are, but I'm definitely going to think about what kind of tattoos I want to get. So, anyways, I think I'll leave on that note, and next time I'll have figured out what kind of tattoos I want to get and where I want to get them. I think I'll be able to talk about that more. So maybe that'll be something. But anyways, yeah. Thanks for watching.